documents. And in the first step documents, getting started, a brand new associate, getting them started, is the memory jargon. A list of occupations from accounting, aerobics, all the way to zoology. And everything in between. And then you go down that list with the new associate and say, as I read these occupations, if I jog your memory and you think of anyone that's associated with these occupations, just write them down. Don't worry about the phone number now, we'll go back and get the phone number later. Just write down the name and where you know them. Is that hot? And you help a new associate, I guarantee you within an hour they'll have well over 100, maybe 2 or 3. But what's exciting about that is that a new associate sometimes doesn't necessarily understand this dynamic, and they'll have a list of 100 names, and they'll expose one of these people on their list to the business, and that person say, I'm not interested, this is not for me. They say, wait, no, please. I need you, I need 100. Can you please do the business? Let me get you on the 3 ways to have somebody else convince you to get it. You see, your posture will be a little bit different. See, now that you understand a little bit more, you realize that I don't need to sponsor 120 people from my list of 100. I only need a few. That's right. Is that hot?
Yeah. It's hot.
I'm just going to focus on the few from my list of 100. And when I sponsor those 3, I'm going to help them develop a list of 100 and help them focus on the few. I'm going to expose everybody, but I'm only looking for a few. Is that hot? Hot. Very powerful stuff. Now, explain this one more time. I'm going to focus on 15, work with my contact list until I find 5. How many? 5. And then if I help those find 5, if I help those 5 find 5, how many would I sponsor? 25. In my team, 25. If those 25 each find 5? 125. And if those 125 find 5? 625. How many total do I have in my organization now? A lot. And what's the difference between 780 and 120?
2.
1.
Ah, you guys got it.
2.
Yeah, you got it. It's clicking in there. I feel like some understanding's happening. Is that right? So now you have 2 more people in your team than in this situation. And would you agree that if 780 associates each wrote 1 membership, that would be a little bit different conversation than in this situation? Is that right? Yeah. I agree that's pretty powerful stuff. That's hot. And everyone is not going to be active all the time. Even though these are core people, they're all following the sequence, these are core leaders. These are 5 core people who sponsored over a period of time, 5 core people. Who sponsored over time, 5 core people. They're not going to all be active. I remember a couple of years ago, maybe 6 years ago, I was setting up a Christmas tree with my kids. And this one particular year, this is the first year that I let the kids do everything. They did all the decorations. They put up the tree, the fake tree. They put up the tree. They put up the tree, they did the lighting, they did the decorations, they did everything. They went out to the garage, got everything, they set everything up. I did nothing but sit there, drink stuff. Don't worry about what I'm drinking. And he said, what? I said, don't worry about it. Let's just say it was an adult beverage, okay? And
eggnog.
I'm drinking stuff, yeah, right. I'm drinking stuff, and I'm taking pictures of them setting everything up. And as I'm looking through the pictures, you know, on the camera, I'm you know, clicking through the pictures, I noticed that the pictures I was taking once the Christmas tree was done, I looked at one picture, when I looked at the next picture, it was a different set of lights on. I looked at another picture, a different set of lights on. In other words, the lights were blinking, is that right? And as I captured each picture, lights were on here and off here. That's the same thing with your business.
Wow.
See, this month, there might be some lights on here, next month might be a different set of lights on. Not everyone's gonna do the same production every month. Man, is that hot?
Yeah.
But you don't need to have all the lights on to have a great income. Give you an example. Let me show you how ridiculous this is. If you had this tree, a perfect situation, perfect. In other words, everyone in this group of 780, if everyone wrote 5 memberships that month, everyone wrote 5 memberships, everyone's performance club, everyone, all 780. Do you know what your income would be?
No.
Let me give you an example. 780 people each write 5 memberships, that's 3,900 memberships. 3,900 memberships, 3,900 memberships written on your team that month. Your minimum override is $34. Let's call it $30 to keep the number simple. Does that make sense? A $30 override on 3,900 memberships would produce about $117,000 in income to you that month.
Wow.
Can anybody get excited about that?
Yeah.
Let's just say just half those lights were on that month. Half those people were Performance Club qualifiers. That'll still be over $50,000 that month. Let's say half of them. Half of them. That would still be over $20,000. Half of them would still be over $10,000. So all the lights do not have to be on every month. Can anybody get excited?
Yeah.
All right? Very quickly, building a team. Create the list, expose the list, and follow up. These are just the basics of the business. These are the basics of the business. Is that right, Mr. and Mrs. LeCoyne?
Yes.
This is it. No matter what whatever tool you're using, whatever technology you're using, this is still the business. It will always be the business for those who want to build a successful business. It's create the list, expose the list, follow up. Creating the list, simple. No list, no business. Develop a list of 100 plus contacts. I already talked about that. And these slides I've been using for years. So when I made these slides, this technology was current. They had PDAs, they had phones. Now the PDA and the phone is the same. Is that right? Yeah. They had laptops that look like that. Okay? So things have changed, and we do still use a phone book from time to time, but that's rare. But the bottom line is, the terminology is technology. You could have great technology, and you could say, you know what? I already have all my contacts here. That's not really good because everyone may not have the same or share the same or equal technology. Does that make sense?
That's right.
But what everyone does share, and I'm telling you right now, ladies and gentlemen, no matter how much of a techno geek you are about stuff, you've got to basically work with, if you want to build a large team, you've got to do something that will duplicate. And the one thing I know that everyone can do, no matter how technically proficient they are or how little that they know of technology, everyone can do that. Does that make sense? You see, like the convoy in World War II, you can only move, you should, if you're building an organization, you should only move as fast as the slowest ship. You should only move as fast in your business as the slowest ship. Does that make sense? And everyone can do this, basically make a list. Now, once you've made the list on paper, then you can use technology to help you move through that list. Does that make sense? You can use the technology to help you move that list. So you could use your cell phone, app, and work that because you had that. But when I recruit somebody, I show them my list. And actually, you can get that right from LegalShield.com/start. Right there in the first step document is a list. And they only give you one page. You can actually make copies of more pages to grow your list. But when I recruit a new associate, I show them what I've done, not just tell them what to do. Is that hot?
Oh, yeah.
I'd rather watch a leader every day than to hear from one. And do not prejudge. Because you don't know who might be looking for an opportunity to earn extra money. You don't know who might be needing access to an attorney. Does that make sense, guys? Yes. That's the one thing I can tell you about everybody you know. I can tell you two things about everyone you know. And I don't know everyone you know, but I can tell you two things about them. I don't know who might be looking for access to an attorney, because we don't talk about that stuff. And I don't know who might be looking for an opportunity to earn extra money, because we don't talk about that either. Is that right?
Oh, yes.
We don't talk about our personal stuff that's going on in our family, although our family finds out anyway. We don't talk about money, you know what I'm saying? But if you have never had more than a quarter tank of gas in your automobile in a long time, the gas is expensive. Some people, just put just enough to get to about a quarter tank or half a tank. You know what I'm saying? My gas tank has never seen more than a half a tank of gas. Really?
Wow.
If it takes $80 or $100 to fill up your tank, you understand what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm being real here. Does that make sense? Yeah. I'm keeping it real right here, real. This is the exposure process. I'm going to share this with you relatively quickly. I'm only going to focus on 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. That's all I really need to focus on is 1, 2, 1, 2. It all starts with the contact list. Is everybody good? Is everybody fine? Yeah. It all starts with the contact list. And the contact list basically is home plate, let's just say. So we start home in baseball, we start at the home plate, and the goal is to do what?
Go home.
Is to end up back there. Is that right, guys? Yes. To basically get a run to end up back there. Okay, that's our goal. We want to basically touch all the bases, so to speak. Touch all the bases. Ongoing training is a given that we attend ongoing training. It's important. Attending training is like taking a bath. You need more than one. Is that right? Yeah. Consistently, regularly, and often. Is that right? Right. Okay. Because if you don't consistently attend training, then eventually your business will stink. Just like you would if you didn't take a bath. And the contact list is important. You start with the contact list, and then of course, I call the contact list, some people call the contact list a prospect list. I don't call it a prospect list. The contact list to me is a suspect list. It's not a list of prospects, it's a list of suspects. I suspect that someone's looking for an opportunity, but I really don't know. Until I expose them and let them identify themselves. Does that make sense?
Oh, yes.
And the reason why that is because I don't waste time and money with suspects. I invest time and money and energy on prospects. You see, everyone that we're going to expose basically has a label. Is that right? And when you expose them, that label will be revealed through the exposure. And that label is networker or not worker. Networker or not worker. And if someone says no, no doesn't mean no, not forever, I'm not ever interested. It means just not right now. I can't see you right now through the blizzard of the challenges I'm going through, which I'm not going to explain. It's not your business. So they won't tell you why they're saying no all the time. They're just basically, it's not for me right now. That doesn't mean never ever expose them again. That means that right now they're just temporarily a no. Is that okay, guys?
Yes. Oh, yes.
So in order to do the exposure, we have to basically approach them. We have to approach them. And the approach process is basically piquing interest and creating curiosity. Pique interest, everybody say pique interest?
Pique interest.
And create curiosity.
Create curiosity.
That's what you want. You want someone who's interested and becomes curious. Now, I gotta say something about curiosity. Curiosity is a powerful, powerful force. Does that make sense? Yeah. Curiosity is a powerful force. Don't give in to someone's desire to have it all right now. Keep them curious. That's how you move them through the process of exposure. I'll explain in just a second. Your goal is to pique interest and create curiosity. So I'll give you two scenarios. If I approached you and said, look attorney, would that get as much interest as look money?
No.
Which one gets more interest? Look money or look attorney?
Look at money.
Look money. Why am I making this point? Because when I started in Legal Shield, I wanted to build my personal team of associates. I know what business I'm in. I'm in Legal Shield. Is that right?
Right.
I'm in the legal service business, identity theft business. I'm in Legal Shield. Okay? But if I approached everybody with just the membership, look attorney, you know what I mean? I might not get everybody's attention. Does that make sense?
Oh, yes.
But if I knew that I would get more, with either approach, you're not going to get everybody's attention, but I probably knew I would get a higher percentage of people's attention to take a look if I said, look money. Does that make sense? So what I'm saying is that I approached everyone with the idea that I want you to take a look at an opportunity to earn extra money. And I'm going to share the opportunity with you. And while sharing the opportunity with you, you're going to become exposed to the membership. Because marketing the membership is our opportunity. Does that make sense? Yes. That is our opportunity. So it's a given that they're going to learn about the membership while being exposed to the business. Is that hot or hot?
Hot.
So my approach is relatively simple. There's several things you can say to somebody. You know, my personal favorite is, do you keep your options open about making money? Do you keep your options open about making money? I love that phrase. This is real simple, and most times you get a what?
Yes.
Yes. What you're also going to get with that is, what is it? Does that make sense? Now, I remember when I first got started in Legal Shield, my approach was a little bit different. It was a little bit longer. It was, I just got involved in something new, it's unbelievable, it's incredible. People making money all over the place. I throw it to you, take a look, and tell me what you think. That was my approach. I just got involved in something new. It's unbelievable, it's incredible. People making money all over the place. It's on the show video, take a look, tell me what you think. That was my approach. then I realized that was a little bit too windy. A little too long. Is that right? So I just basically said, do you keep your options open about making money? Another approach is, do you know anyone that might be interested in developing a second income without having a second job? Do you know anyone that would be interested in developing a second income without having a second job? Do you know anyone that might be interested in developing a second income without having a second job? I'm gonna get it. Eventually. And that's what I call the working through someone approach. Because how many agree some people have egos? And some people have pride. Is that right, guys? So if you ask someone directly, are you interested in earning some extra money? They might say, nah, I'm good. I only got a quarter tank of gas in my car, but I'm good. I got a brand new car note, you know what I'm saying? With a quarter tank of gas, I look good, I smell good, I feel good, but I'm broke as hell. But I don't need to tell you that, because I have pride. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Let me tell you, people can make their own opinion, but they can't make up their own facts. And the fact is, a lot of folks are doing much worse off financially than they lead on to be. That's the fact. I know that, but you don't have to go out and tell people that to their face.